Well, many of the overseas territories, quite unlike Gibraltar, did not form part of the European Union, did not vote in the EU referendum, but do feed into the European Union through the UK. So, residents of the overseas territories who are British have the right of free movement within the European Union by dint of their British passports. Their industries feed into the European Union. For example, the Falkland Islands is a big fishing industry, which is partly reliant on the European Union, and all of the others enjoy many benefits through different levels of participation with the EU. And so there is a great synergy between Gibraltar and many of these territories also as we go towards the Joint Ministerial Conference, which will be held in October this year in London, in ensuring that we press the British government to understand what the separate needs of each of the territories is as the UK considers what its position will be on exiting the European Union. Now, we'll have different levels of involvement. Gibraltar will be fully involved, some of the territories will be consulted, but the JMC is going to be an opportunity to once again highlight those concerns that there are in Gibraltar and in the other overseas territories, and we were able to work together on how to present that to the British government.
In previous versions of this Joint Ministerial Council, we've heard the former Prime Minister call for an increase in transparency, in financial transparency. Of course, a few months ago we had those Panama Papers leaked. It's kind of gotten a little bit lost following the EU referendum, but is there still a sense that some of the overseas territories still have to play catch up on levels of financial transparency?
Well, it only depends who you're comparing with. I mean, if you compare people with Gibraltar and with the United Kingdom, then some may have a way to go, because Gibraltar and the United Kingdom are really at the forefront of implementing the European standard of transparency. David Cameron, when he was Prime Minister, made this one of his themes. But as he said, and as the Foreign Secretary said recently, or the former Foreign Secretary said recently, the UK and its overseas territories are leaps and bounds ahead of most of the rest of the world, and it's unfair to call any of the overseas territories tax havens. Mr. Hammond also said Gibraltar was actually one of the best examples to the world of how to achieve transparency and still retain a lot of competitiveness and to be a financial services hub. Now, where is the rest of the world? I think it's unfair not to point to those who are not now at the vanguard of transparency, like parts of the United States, Russia, a lot of the rest of the European Union. So we've done a very important job in ensuring that we comply with the international standard and with the European vanguard. And I hope that there will soon be a level playing field across the world, which will ensure that everybody else complies with those standards.